can't attract venture capital. And people get confused. See, I'm on the web, just like Google. How come you're not giving me, $100 million? So, startup and innovation number 2 is small businesses, and every country needs policies to support small businesses. The United States is still a nation of small businesses. Over 50% of U.S. workers who don't work for the government work or own small businesses. The third type and fourth are the two that make up Silicon Valley and make up innovation. And those are what we call scalable startups, or some people call them high-growth startups. They're also startups, but these are founders who wake up in the morning saying, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to create something big. I see an opportunity that no one else does, and it's not just going to feed me. No. We're going to put Microsoft out of business. Which, anybody from Microsoft in the room? Sorry. It looks like it's already happened. Not by me. But people wake up here, or better. I can put Nokia out of business. Right? Looks like somebody's doing that. These ideas, if they're technically sound, smart team, good evidence, early evidence of this is possible, can attract millions of investment dollars. Millions. This is what Silicon Valley does. Big ideas, large amounts of venture capital. This is what Russia is starting to do. The new type of investment and startups in Silicon Valley is what I have labeled a viable startup. Internet and mobile and gaming apps or cloud apps no longer need millions of dollars to start. You can start a company on your credit card or $100,000. And by the way, you could sell that company for $50 million, and given the investment, it's still a nice investment. They're not small businesses because they are built to scale, but the amount of capital they need up front is substantially lower. Scalable and viable startups are what Silicon Valley does. The new type of venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, what are called super angels, have been matched to these viable startups. The last type of entrepreneurship occurs in large companies, existing companies. Existing companies stay in business because they constantly innovate around their core technology. Professor at Harvard 15 years ago, Clayton Christensen, labeled this sustaining innovation. And he said, listen, just as the history of competitive companies, you make it cheaper, you make it faster, you make it better, whatever, you get new technology, you're great at that. But what happens to large companies, if you think about it, is that they don't last forever. Something happens to large companies. If you look at the history of any company, it kind of goes like this, a trajectory. Is they end up getting disrupted by outside forces. What outside forces? New technologies, new laws, new regulations, new competitors. Go ask Nokia what disruption feels like. Right? Nokia was doing great. Inside, they were doing the world's best sustaining innovation. Apple came out with a completely new game. PCs are being disrupted by tablets. Literally in the next 5 years, it's not clear that too many people are going to be buying new PCs. Again, nothing wrong with the people who are building PCs. Something happened outside. So the last type of innovation is social entrepreneurs. People who want to do good rather than doing well. People who want to build for-profit companies, but not just focus on making the most money, they want to do good, or people who want to set up NGOs. Now, I've just described my version of 6 types of startups. There's no hard and fast rule, I just made this up. But the minute you start thinking about the different types of entrepreneurship, you can understand, well, wait a minute. There has to be different types of education for each type of entrepreneur, and there has to be different government policies. So the first thing is when the government says, well, we support entrepreneurship and innovation, the next question is, if you're allowed to ask, is where, and what kind? And they might go, why, are there more than one? And now you can have an interesting conversation. Make sense? Sorry for the long answer. Yes?